Section 4 of Chapter 6 are talking about loan types and loan amortization. So this is a little bit complicated and I need you guys to focus more and follow with me. We want to talk about a few different loan types. So the pure discount loan, equal principal payments, and equal payments, and the balloon loans. Okay. Well, let's talk about one by one. The pure discount loans are relatively simple because they are nothing more than a lump sum, right? Suppose we have a pure discount loan with the following characteristics. Amount to be repaid is $25,000. Years until repayment, 7. So the interest rate is 12%. So this can be easily done by using a present value function, which is P. The rate is 12. The number of periods will be 7. The payment, we don't have anything for payment because the amount to be paid or the future value, right? And the future value is $25,000. If we do this, that will give us 11,308.73. So again, we want to put a negative sign here in order to get a positive number. So that's for the first question, right? So that's for the first question. So this is fairly easy. The second question that we want to talk about, this can be a little bit tricky, right? So this loan is what we call the equal principal payment, right? So this equal principal payment is basically when we make payment to mortgage, we are making the same amount of principal payment in addition to the interest, right? So let's look at this example. Assume we have the loan amount, $350,000. The interest rate is 9%. So we want to make up an amortization table like this, right? So we're going to see amortization table like this. And this is the simple one, right? So a more sophisticated or more normal amortization table will be something like this, right? So this is for 360 month payment per month. So let's go back to this question. So we say we're going to make the payment for 15 years and we only need to make a payment every year, right? So that's what we're doing here. So the beginning balance for this, before we do that, we want to calculate what will be the principal payments in this case, right? So the equal principal payments, the payment itself will be simply the loan amount divided by the number of years that we want to make the payment, which is 15%. So basically, we want to divide this $350,000 equally into 15, so that every year we're making the same amount payment, which is $23,333.33. Right? So once we have these, we will construct this amortization table. So the beginning amount will be $350,000, which is the loan that we borrowed from bank. Okay. And the total payment, we don't know that yet, but we know the principal payments, right? We know the principal payment will be $23,333.33, okay? And because this is going to be the same for all the 15 years, so we will press F4 for this one, for this principal payment. If we do that, and we have the principal payment here. And the interest that we're going to pay will be how much we begin with, which is the beginning balance, multiplied by this interest rate. The interest rate is always going to be 9%, right? So therefore, remember to press F4 to make it absolute self-reference. So we know how much interest that we want to pay and how much principal we want to pay. So we know the total payment for us will be the interest plus the principal payment. For the first year, we need to pay $54,833.33. So the ending balance, right? So this is the tricky part. I want you to, pay attention here. The ending balance will be the difference between the beginning balance with the principal payments. right? So that is the difference between beginning balance minus principal payment. You may say, I paid more than that. Okay, how come my ending balance will be not account for the total payments? And so this is how the loan works, right? So in this case, right, your ending balance will be 326,666.67, right? Your next year beginning balance will be the ending balance for year one. So now we have pretty much fixed all the equation. All we need to do is to drag everybody down to year 15. Don't worry about it if there's nothing yet. Okay, it will be there. All right. I'm going to do this one by one. And the last one, so we're going to get 0, right? So this is where you can tell whether you're making the correct answer in a way that because we are paying off a loan at the very end of the last year, you need to have a 0 ending balance. If you end up with a positive number or negative number, you're making a mistake somewhere, right? So let's calculate how much total payment that I made. I want to do the sum of all the total payment. So that would be $602,000, right? So my loan is simply $350,000, right? So in total, I'm paying $602,000. Right? I'm paying a lot more than the loan amount. How about the interest, right? We don't have to do the equation again. We can just apply the equation. So in terms of the interest payment, I'm paying $252,000. The principal is the loan amount, right? So that's how the distribution of total payment, interest payment, and the principal payment.